afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our new expert talk dedicated to the migration SAP S/4HANA. We are very happy to welcome you for this session and also for all the interest concerning this topic. We have a lot of participants from all over the world. My name is Sophie Gonzalez Prado, and I will be your moderator today to provide you with a smooth and valuable experience. We recommend using Google Chrome as your browser to get the best digital experience. If it's not the case, just switch to Google Chrome and refresh your page. We'll present a 40 minutes webinar with 5 or 10 minutes of question and answer included. For quality and distance reasons, we have recorded this digital event, but you can exchange with us and ask your question directly in the chat, top right of the screen. Our experts will get back to you during the Q&A time in live. Today, we have the pleasure to be joined by two great experts. We share with you the knowledge and experiences and lessons on this topic. Dr. Tamar Sirtz, Director of Innovation in SOA People, and Guilherme Joventino, the co-founder for the company MIGNOW. Thank you both for being here. They will introduce you some references as Nike, Carrefour, IOC, and Galère, but also share with you information you need to know for your project to come. We hope you can see us and hear us clearly as well. I wish you a pleasant expert talk, and I see you after this presentation. Gentlemen, I give you the floor.
Hi everyone, I'm Guilherme Joventino. I'm COO of MIGNOW, and today will be a pleasure to explain what we did and what we are doing for our customers. Right, Thomas?
Hi everyone. So my name is Tamar Sirtz. I'm a Group Innovation Director at SOA People. So I have 24 years experience with SAP and of course many years with S/4HANA. And I'm very happy to present you MIGNOW today, which is a really interesting, innovative solution. So let's get started. I will present a couple of slides, and I would like to talk about customer challenges. Guilherme and I, we talk to customers daily, and we summarize what we hear from our customers. And of course, we will talk about how we can help our customers with these challenges. So the first thing to start with is that for our customers, the ERP system is really crucial for their business. No, this is really a foundation for running their business processes, and they see the benefits in S/4HANA. Many customers see the benefits of S/4HANA. They know that S/4HANA can improve their processes. They can make them more agile, more ready for the future. It can improve the user experience. It has some embedded analytics. So these things are clear, I think, for most people. But customers would like to get these benefits step by step. Nobody is interested in a big bang, turning the company upside down. They would like to have some kind of a smooth transitioning where they go to S/4HANA in a first phase, in a less interruptive way, and then they take the coming months and years to introduce new innovations. The second thing we see, which is obvious, that SAP has an end of maintenance defined for ECC, or actually the whole business suite. So yeah, there is this deadline of 2027, and customers don't like that there is this deadline, but this is a fact. Also, when they look at the traditional way of going to S/4HANA, so what we call the manual execution of a migration, then it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's a costly, complex exercise, and customers are not excited, especially the customers which are moving just because they have to, because of the end of maintenance. They find that the effort is too high. And then there is another aspect, that it's not enough to go to S/4HANA. SAP also has a maintenance policy where customers need to be updated regularly. And this last point is something which not everybody is aware of, but it is certainly a big challenge we see on the market. So Guilherme, could you please explain more about this point?
Yeah, I would say that we have two other aspects that we need to pay attention. The two issues that all the customers should be careful. The first one we have 40,000 customers that we need to move from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA until the end of 2027. So only this is something really, really difficult to accomplish. But also a part of that, what the customers are not aware is that the enterprise support, the shelf life for S/4HANA changed. So now the shelf life of S/4HANA is just 5 years. Okay, and when we have the 40,000 customers that are on an ECC that they need to move until the end of 2027, we also need to consider all those customers that are already on an S4. Because just to give you an example, the last version of S4HANA launched the last October, the version 2021. This version will end up the enterprise support December 2026, 1 year before that ECC will end up the enterprise support. Okay, so the version 15.11, the version 16.10 are out of the enterprise support already. This year, 17.09 will lose the enterprise support. So we have a big issue in our hands, how to move all those customers, how to keep the customers updated without big project, without a big number of consultants, and without spend a huge amount of time and money. Okay, then for this, 4 to 5 years ago, we started to develop a tool that to solve this problem. Then because we realized the manual execution will not work. Honestly, we do not have enough consultants in the world to execute all those projects. We tried to create based on RPA, but we realized that we could just solve the first problem, to move the customer from SAP ECC to SAP S/4HANA, but wouldn't fix the second problem. It's to keep the customer updated from S4 to S4. Then we identify some tools from artificial intelligence, mainly neural networks and deep learning, to create what we call it MIGNOW. In fact, what is MIGNOW? MIGNOW is the only, and so far the unique software able to keep SAP updated. So we just do not only move from SAP ECC to SAP S4, but also afterward we keep the customer updated on S4. Doesn't matter for us if you are talking about ECC EHP 0 or EHP 8. We are able to move. Doesn't matter for us if you are talking about non-only code. We also are able to move. Based on our automation, we are able to reduce really drastically the time of the project duration, okay? The budget and for sure the risks. We do not need several consultants to execute the project. With that, because it's an automation, we can reduce a lot the errors. And we promise, without the customer environment, that at least 95% of all the custom code identified by the readiness check from SAP, it's an official document that we convert automatically. So maximum 3% is what we need to adjust manually. Okay, and this is something amazing. We can save a lot of time here. We have already cases for on-premise. We have case private cloud, including RISE with SAP. Okay, so we are able in all kinds of deploy. And within our pricing and within our method, we have early upgrades included. So our proposal is that we fix the issue to keep you updated. And we are talking about move again from ECC to S4, and now one from S4 to S4. Okay. Thomas.
So Guilherme, I mean, what you are saying that you automate the conversion to S4HANA, you automate the upgrade from one version of S4HANA to the other version, or the next version, or up higher version of S4HANA. You automate the ABAP code, more than 95% of that. Wow, I mean, this is, when customers hear it for the first time, probably they wonder like, wow, is it true? It's too good to be true. So what would you say about that? And of course, we see these logos on the left. Can you please tell more about that?
Yeah, sure. So we always receive this question. Hey, I don't believe that this is feasible. One of the ways that we identify to really prove that the customer can rely on us is we qualify as a software package solution. We already certify the software within the ICC team as a software to convert and to keep the customer updated. And more than that, if after that, if the customer prefer to buy directly from SAP store, the customer can do this as well. So we have all the list, all the certifications from SAP that prove that we are relied on this side, right? And a part of that, then, Thomas, we have several awards. So we are leader in 4 quadrants from ISG. We won twice the innovation contest, innovation award from SAP. As I mentioned, we are available on SAP store. We are certified by SAP. And we don't need to do this again, but we did the fastest conversion that already happened. We have a case which we executed. We went live in 18 days. It's a public reference for SAP, and it's really, really amazing.
Thank you, Guilherme. So let me talk about how you actually use MIGNOW in your implementation of S4HANA. So, well, there are 3 main transition scenarios which we know how customers can go to S4HANA. There is the greenfield, there is the brownfield, and there is the selective. I think greenfield and brownfield are more known on the market. Greenfield means it's basically a new implementation. So it's for companies which want to change their business completely. They want to take the actually huge effort of re-implementing the SAP system based on the best practices. So it's only for the companies which are very dedicated to restart their whole ERP journey. It's for some special cases. But I see that there is a lot more interest for brownfield, because it's a technical conversion. So you don't need to reinvent your company. No, you convert your existing ECC system to S4HANA. You keep your data, you keep your processes pretty much as is. Of course, you are going to S4, so it will not be 100% as is, but you are introducing innovations gradually. First, you do a technical approach, which is easier, and then you do follow-up projects where you introduce further innovations. And there is the interesting one, the orange part on the rest, shell conversion, where you take a copy of your ECC system without data, you convert that to S4HANA. So basically, that's why we call it shell. No, you create an empty S4HANA shell, and then afterwards you load data. So you load balance sheet, open items, and master data. And the good news is that MIGNOW can automate brownfield and selective. Would you like to add something to that, Guilherme?
Yeah, sure. Just some more additional information. I do not see a greenfield as something that it's something feasible to our customers. Honestly, I don't like the greenfield. And why I don't like the greenfield? Because even if you want to back to standard in your processes, you will back to standard something like 20%, 30% maximum. So why you need to recreate 100% if you just need to adjust 20, 30%? Why to recreate all the configuration, everything? If you want that, so move to shell conversion. You convert, and then you are able to perform all the changes that you need. You reduce time, you're gonna reduce risk, and you're gonna save money with that. Okay, so we need to think that a project within SAP we can execute with a shorter period of time, with a small budget, and really safe. We don't need to execute big bangs like in the past, like several things included on the same implementation. We can split the deliverables according to the timeline, you know, creating waves and really giving the quick wins to our customers. You have several advantages on that. So you reduce the risk. You will not use the whole organization to test, to validate. So you really execute a selective and technical project.
Okay. And you are saying that all this is automated. So I'm really curious, how does it really work? No, what is exactly automated? So can you please give us the details?
So basically here we have a comparison of the project on the upside. We have a project executed by MIGNOW versus a traditional execution. So you can see the boxes in green and also in blue. All the blue boxes are steps that we need to execute manually in our project or in traditional execution. Okay, but all the green boxes are steps automatized by MIGNOW. And we, for example, we automatize the simplification items, we automatize the customer and vendor becoming a business partner, MRP, and for example, we call the SOM, the Software Update Manager from SAP. This is one of the differentiation from of MIGNOW. We use the official tool from SAP to really perform the conversion. So what are the restrictions of MIGNOW? Are the same restrictions that we identify on an OSS node applied for a Software Update Manager. If the SAP can execute, we are able to execute. Also, as I mentioned, you can see here the custom code fix in green and also in blue. What it means, because 95% at least we fix it automatically. Maximum 5% we adjust manually. Then when we compare both projects and you see the amount of the manual steps and the automatized steps that we have, you understand why we can reduce the time, we can reduce the risk, we can reduce the budget, and how we can bring added value to our customers.
I think you sometimes say that 85 or even more % of the project is automated.
Yeah, right. We have nowadays an automation of 85% of the whole process. We can reduce normally at least to a half of the period of the project. So it depends how many cycle of user acceptance tests the customer are looking for. We always discuss this with the customer, but we reduce a lot the whole period of the project. So here is to explain the life cycle of MIGNOW. We split it in 4 big phases. So the first one is something that we recommend to everyone. Even if you are planning to move in 2024, 2023, we recommend that you prepare, you do your assessment right now. You need to understand what is your environment, what is happening to your ECC, and which kind of change or which constraints you're going to have to move to S/4HANA. Okay. After that, we can start with realize, we deploy, and then, but we do not stop at the end of the project because we deliver all the automated upgrades afterwards. So let's talk today. We moved the customer from SAP CC EHP 0 to SAP S/4HANA 2021. At the end of this year or the beginning of the next year, if the customer wants to move from 21 to 22, we are able to do that. The only thing that the customer will do is to raise a ticket with us. And then we organize the task and how to execute the project, but without any additional cost.
So thank you, Guilherme. That was very clear. And what I would like to add to that all this is based on the standard SAP methodology called Activate. So we are not only using under the hood the standard SAP tools, like you mentioned, Software Update Manager, but also the SAP methodology, which makes us really compliant with the SAP approach. All right, so let's summarize this. Let's talk about the key benefits in a nutshell. So we talked about budget reduction, cost reduction. No, the fact that we automated, that means that the total budget of the migration is significantly reduced. We will give concrete examples later. Time, no, because of the automation, also the project timeline is reduced. So at typical migration projects, according to SAP, according to their statistics, is starting from 6 months upwards, 6, 8, 10, and so on. For us, we start really from 2, 3, and maybe 6 is really the high end. On average, it's something around 3, 4 months. I mean, Guilherme even mentioned this example of 18 days, but that's quite extreme also. But on average, 3, 4 months, you will see in our examples. We also reduce the risk by introducing automation, so less manual effort, and that's very important because, okay, we are talking about the main ERP system of our customers. And we provide business continuity with the yearly upgrades. No? So we not only take you to S4, which is a one-time activity, but we keep your system updated automatically each year or as often as you would like. So, Guilherme, I think it's time to give some nice examples, right? So now we have many, but we selected 3 to cover today. Let me start with Galère, which is, of course, a well-known brand in Belgium for their very nice chocolate. They are in a business transformation, and still they decided to do a technical conversion, which some people may think it's a contradiction, because why you do a technical approach if you want to have, if you want to achieve big business goals? But it makes sense because they said that let's get to S4 in a risk-limited way by automating it. Let's do a technical approach. Let's get to S4 as quickly as we can. In their case, it was less than 3 months, which was really impressive. Half the time what a normal conversion would take. So they decided to take this very efficient step. They went live in the last days of 2020. And then during 2021, we ran a whole series of workshops to introduce business improvement. So they could really take their business journey step by step. So Guilherme, can you say something about Carrefour, which I think is also a very impressive story?
Yeah, this was an amazing case. We went live in 3 months and a half, moving from old infrastructure and upgrading to S/4HANA, moving into RISE with SAP. So we could complete the whole task, the whole project within 3 months and a half. This was really, really amazing.
Yeah, indeed. So Galère was an on-premise project. Carrefour is RISE. EOC is also RISE. It's also a Belgian company in the chemical business. And we are on the journey with them. It's a nice complex project. And well, about Galère, we had already webinars some months ago, which are already available. So you can watch a lot more detailed story. And of course, about EOC, we will get back in a couple of months once we are progressing towards the go live. So I think our story was quite clear. No, we offer a conversion to S/4HANA. We offer the upgrades, all automated, really significant wins. But I think what we also have to talk about is how to actually get started with this. And really, there are two scenarios, I would say. I know a lot of customers which have still a lot of questions about S/4HANA. They still question the value of S/4HANA. What is the benefit? And of course, not theoretically, but specifically for their business. So what is exactly the business case? What will be the architecture? Are they going to go to RISE, cloud, hyperscaler, on-premise, public cloud, private cloud? All these words are flying around. Which is the right one for which customer? What about the project approach? We mentioned that today. User experience is a topic because, of course, SAP has Fiori, but are you going to introduce a lot of Fiori, only some Fiori, but then which ones? No? So, okay, there are a lot of questions. So for customers which have all these questions, what we offer is a functional and technical assessment, is a couple of days fixed assignment where we analyze your situation, we run some tools, we do some interviews, and then we give answers to all these points. The second scenario, which I also see, customers, we say, okay, now the big picture we already know, but this story about MIGNOW really interested us because, okay, this is probably offers us a more efficient project. So can you just please help with that? Can you please produce us an offer to concrete for us? And that, of course, for us is a quick technical assessment. So then we don't take this whole exercise, what we do in the first case, then it's a much smaller one. We can do it in a couple of days. And then you basically get a very concrete proposal from us, how you can convert your system to S4 with the automation of MIGNOW.
Yep. And Thomas, I strongly recommend that doesn't matter, as I mentioned before already, doesn't matter if the customer are planning to move only in 2025. Do the assessment right now. Start to understand the path, how to move to S4 since now. What are the constraints? What are the points that they need to pay attention? Don't waste time. This would be my first recommendation to all the customers.
Very true, very true.
Right. And we are open to help on this side. Also, I believe now it's time to switch from the recorded session to a live session. It will be a pleasure to answer all the questions and to talk with you guys. Right, Thomas?
Of course. Of course. We are ready. We are ready.
Hey, Thomas, I believe we have here some questions to answer, right?
Yes, indeed. So now we are live and ready to answer.
Okay. So we have a question here. Is the conversion to business partners also included? Yes. So during the project, MIGNOW can cover the conversion of CVI to business partner during the conversion. Okay.
And maybe one thing to add, because that's always something that customers ask. Do you have to do it before as a prerequisite? And no, as you explained, no, it's part of the project, no?
No. This is part of the project.
Yeah.
There is another one question. I saw the question from Michael. Thomas, you answer about it. Maybe Guillaume, you want to do some adjustment about the question. The question was, so if I understand you correctly, the more you talk, the tool is making conversion upgrade, the more efficient your tool is becoming. Then the more I wait is also an advantage for me in order to take the benefits of your experience. So maybe you want to do some adjustment?
No, I agree. if you spend more time, if you wait for more time, then the tool will be faster, will be better, for sure. But then what the customer needs to understand and leverage is if it makes sense to wait 1 year, 2 years, 3 years to perform the conversion and still doing all the changes, all the maintenance on an old system, or do it right now and get the advantage not only to convert, because MIGNOW will solve also the problem to keep the customer updated. So all those advantages the customer will get not on the conversion, but also on the upgrades as well.
Okay, Nancy asked about what about interfaces to other systems?
Okay, so MIGNOW cover everything within the ERP. So all the interfaces, when we are inside of an ERP, it's an ABAP code. Okay, it's a RFC, a BADI, or something like that. And then we cover this. I mentioned that at least 95% of all the custom codes, and for us, it's all custom codes, we promise that we adjust automatically. Okay. There is another question here from Mary. What are the functional restrictions of MIGNOW? Basically, we use the tools from SAP. So we use the SOOM, the Software Update Manager from SAP. We just automatize the whole process. Okay. Then all the restrictions that we have for the Software Update Manager are the same restriction applied to MIGNOW.
Okay. Christian asks, how reliable is the tool when it comes to the conversion of Flash custom code modules? How are the modifications handled?
I can tell you that until now, we got the customers from all the sides. I got customers with more than 50,000 custom codes and customer with 300 custom codes. So far, this wasn't a problem for us, honestly, but I'll be happy to leverage and really understand the codes that you have, Christian.
Okay. I'm asking, we are currently migrated to S/4HANA V 2020 and we go live next month. Is the mentioned method also interesting for us?
For the upgrades, I would say, no?
Yes,
Or
so
what
for
do
the
you say?
upgrade, it's good for you.
Yeah.
But I believe the question is what kind of a device we can bring here. It's we need to understand better what we are doing. For example, which kind of deploy we're doing to if it's cloud, if it's not cloud. We need to understand, for example, also which kind of a user interface you're going to use. Are you going to switch to Fiori? Are you going to still using SAP B and some other information? Then we can help you better.
I have a question from Sue. If you migrate from a regular Belgium accounting package into a SAP for HANA, what will be the normal integration period or timing?
Our average to convert from ECC to S4, it's around 4 months. Okay, with 4 months, we can execute 3 cycles of conversion, 2 user acceptance tasks. Then it's our average to execute this conversion. I'm not sure if this was the case or if it was the question.
No, I'm also not sure. Maybe with Sue we should follow up because it's also not very clear for me what she means.
Maybe she can complete it. Okay, I have a question from Christian. Can you outline the commercial model?
Yeah, it's a subscription model, right? So monthly subscription, and that one subscription covers both things which we talked about. So the one-time move to S4, and also the upgrades. And then basically the subscription depends on the complexity of your system, by which modules you use, just to keep it very simple.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question from Damien. Are you able to convert from ECC 6?
Yes, all the ECC 6, EHP 0 to EHP 8, we are able to convert. We have read cases on EHP 0, no Unicode, with Unicode, and so on.
And maybe one comment, because we kind of skipped that question about the greenfield. So here really we talk about brownfield and the shell conversion. So indeed not the greenfield. No, greenfield is a whole other thing. No, that's a lot of workshops, discussions with the business. That's not something a tool can do.
Okay. Conrad asked, can you convert from on-premise directly to Azure?
Yes, to any hyperscale. We can convert and also move to cloud for Google, for Amazon, for Microsoft, or even to Rise with SAP.
Andre asked, does your old approach work for SAP retail conversion to HANA too?
Yes, we have already some cases with industry solution of retail. Also works for retail.
There is a lot of questions coming. Jean-François asked, apart from the assessment, what do you advise as preparation for a future migration?
The first thing that I recommend is do the assessment. Run the readiness check, and do the readiness check, you're going to receive a lot of information there. So I can tell you that archiving can be something, yeah, but we need to check the size that you have nowadays. All the simplification items. New GL, for me, it's not a project that we need to do as a preparation anymore. We can execute this during the project. But of course, for example, if your process orchestration is on the version 7.2, you should upgrade. This will facilitate the conversion and some other stuff. So I strongly recommend that you do the assessment, understand your environment, and then plan your migration. You don't need to do right now, but at least you have all the information in your hands.
Okay, Christian asked, even in brownfield, some processes need to be redesigned, rebuild process in cell. How is this handled? VM will not be working in S4. How is the shift to the EMV done?
Yeah, correct. And this is called simplification items. So simplification items are all the items that you use on ECC and will not be used anymore in S4HANA. So we need to switch the process. We need to switch sometimes the configuration, and yeah, we are able to do that as well. Not 100%, but for example, rebate, we are okay already. For WM, for HCM, and some other, we are able to do that.
Well, okay. Harm is asking, is this method available in all countries where you are located? For example, Netherlands?
It's available worldwide.
This is a good answer. Damien asked, is the cost of one-shot conversion cost or license cost?
It's a license cost because we include not only the conversion, but also the upgrades afterward. For example, until the last month, now it is already released to Rise, for example, the version 2021. The version 2021 will end up the enterprise support in 2026. Then the customer will have 3-4 years maximum to upgrade to the newest version. So we cover during this period all the upgrades, and we cover that you keep safe on enterprise support from SAP.
Okay, I have the last question from Nicola. We have a very big specific program to manage ECO postings. What happens when we get 5 or 10% not migrated automatically? How we can ensure the programs and technical and functionality migrated as is?
Okay, so we promise that at least 95%. If the tool do not work with 95%, what we are 100% sure that we'll do, we can do it manually, okay? And we fix, and then we're gonna deliver to the customer. So you don't have any other additional cost or effort on this side.
Okay. I think there is no more question. Maybe
I see one more from Luc.
Luc.
Which, well,
yes.
he puts that you migrate development queue
afterwards,
but
no.
that's not the case, no?
It's not the case. We switch it, and SAP already changed it this as well. We create a copy and we migrate 3 times at least the production. So we do always the production, and after the last cycle, we apply all the changes from dev to the dev environment, dev ECC to dev S4. Why we switch to not execute dev, QA, and production? Because otherwise we're gonna test only one user acceptance test, your data in production, from your production, okay? So we would prefer to be more safe, to really test 2 cycles of a user acceptance test than during just one. There are another question from Michael. I'm not sure if I really understand why to keep MIGNOW. Yeah. So our contract, its initial contract is 3 years. Okay, why that? Because we understood that this is a period that you need to keep your SAP updated. So within the same price, and I'll be glad to share with you and do the assessment and provide you all the numbers, that with the same price that we would execute a project, I can deliver to you a conversion to S4 and also all the upgrades. Apart of that, we have some other tools from MIGNOW, like a platform of learning. We have some other things that we deliver during this period. Okay.
Okay. There is another one question from Raghavendra. ECC or S4HANA, which is the best? This is your question, I think.
Well, I mean, of course, this we could spend hours and days on this topic to give you a proper answer. But of course, generally speaking, S4HANA is a more modern system from SAP with a lot of new innovations. So yeah, of course, if you put it less simple, which is the best, then of course S4 is clearly better.
Okay. So
just to complement. I believe that the S4HANA will open a window of opportunity to you. So a lot of things that are not possible within ECC or is too complex to have on ECC, we have standard on S4. So that's a reason why we have the powerful from ECC. You have all the base from ACC, but you have also some additional enhancements from S4. Just to let you know, since the first version of S4HANA 15.11, SAP released more than 2,800 new functionalities. Functionalities not included on ECC.
And each version comes with around 400 new functionalities. That's also a reason why upgrading is very relevant. It's not like on ECC. If you honestly, if you skip some updates on ECC, then not much happens. No, as long as you will keep the security fixes in the system. But in S4, it's different. No? You get really a lot of new features each year.
I think we will have 2 more questions. Yeah. Darius asks, which tools are you using for full ETL data migration track?
We don't use a tool for ETL because we do not transfer data. We are different on this side. We convert using SOM. So we convert the whole environment. Okay, we are not moving data to one system to another.
And the last question from Geert is a conversion for advanced planning optimizer APO is the scope?
No, this is not part of MIGNOW. Okay,
I think there is no more question. Thank you, Thomas and Guillaume, for all this presentation. It was very clear. We were more than 110 people, so it's very, very good to see it. Thank you for your participation. We hope also you enjoyed the session as much as we did with Thomas and Guillaume. Dear participants, you will receive an email with the download to the replay and the slides. You can share it with your colleague, with your teams, with your friends, with your network. Once again, thanks our expert to be here and to answer to all the questions. I wish you a nice day, and I hope we will see you soon for other digital events. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we are open for any other connection, right, Thomas? If you have any further question, please let us know.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you.